Thank you, Michael. Welcome, everyone. Going back and revisiting the Baylor game, just again really pleased with the overall play of our football team. Baylor's continues to be a good football team in every part of the game. So to be able to, just to play the way we did overall, I was really, just pleased. I thought offensively, the running backs were excellent. Joe and Samaje both 100 yards, over 100 yards. I thought our patience with the running game was really good in that we got a lot of 4- and 5-yard gains and then eventually broke a couple of them. So that sets up a lot of the different play-action passes. I was really pleased again, just Baker Mayfield again, just an excellent night or excellent day. D.D. Westbrook again with some big plays. Mark Andrews, Geno Lewis also had some really nice plays, on some third down and some critical situations. Joe was our player of the game offensively, Mixon. Defensively, again, very solid. Overall had some much better on our third down defense getting off the field. Also had a few fourth down stops, which are like turnovers. Came up with some turnovers. Forced fumble by Will Johnson and a couple of interceptions by Jordan Evans were great. Jordan, great athlete, very athletic when he got the ball. Almost got a touchdown with one of them. Tipped a couple of other passes, had 2 sacks. So obviously Jordan was also, along with Will, but Jordan was our player of the game and Will Johnson. But Jordan also the Big 12 player of the week. Just had a great day overall. But I, again, just thought overall, second quarter we had a little bit of some issues with the run game. Settled down in the second half, played it much better. Special teams I thought were, again, very solid, close to have really popping a couple of kickoff returns, didn't quite do it, but coverage, our kickoffs and things like that were all very solid, had a punt inside the 5. So Austin was again really good. So anyway, that brings us to this week going to West Virginia. A tough environment to play in, but a very exciting environment to play in. It'll be sold out and ruckus crowd and rowdy crowd. So it's, those are exciting venues to play in. West Virginia is an excellent football team. I think, no question, Dana Holgerson and his staff have done a great job. In particular, offensively, they're very, very physical running the football. And really work the run game, and then they've got some big play hitters outside, and Skylar Howard, a really good quarterback to throw the football as well. And then defensively, they've been very good all year. Tony Gibson does an excellent job with this 3-3 defense, bringing pressure different ways. They're going to bring outside from each side of the field. They're going to bring it inside. Then they'll drop 8 and cover with 8, rush 3. So they do a nice job of mixing it up. Their team is, they play really aggressive and confidently in the way they're playing. So very good football team, and it'll be a big challenge and an exciting one, coming this Saturday.
Romoff played Saturday, and you going to get anybody else back this week?
Yeah, Matt was scheduled to play. Just didn't feel that he had enough work during the week that we felt he was going to be, more effective than what we were going with. So just didn't have that confidence yet. He'll be better this week, having not played. So hopefully, yes, that we'll get him back. Unsure. Matt Diamond won't be back. He won't be back on, this year, and actually won't be back, the following year. Matt was going to be finishing his. His time here playing for us. And Charles, we'll see. He's scheduled to meet with our trainers here today, and we'll see if that changes any this week. I'm not anticipating it to, but we'll see. Think everyone else from a week ago, Dimitri, from last week's game, Dimitri was fine. Once we, evaluated him after the game, and Jordan Thomas was also. Jordan will probably miss today, maybe tomorrow, but they don't expect it to last real long. He was much better Sunday evaluating him than he was after the game, so he's improving quickly.
Bob, how much better is your secondary playing at this point in the year? I think you Had 9 pass breakups during the game. It looks like you guys are a much more aggressive unit back there.
Well, it isn't just the secondary; it's the linebackers and everybody. It's been, yeah, it's you know, it was really solid the other day. You know, and again, I say the backers are a big part of it. Jordan's 2 interceptions, and EB had a big stop over the middle too. I want to say on a 3rd down. So anyhow, it's the whole group. Just overall has been executing better.
Matt Diamond, is that an injury that ends his career, or has he just decided not to return?
It's multiple issues. The injury has led to some other things, and in the end of the day, it's just not working anymore.
Bob, you talk about all the injuries that y'all have had on the defensive front. How big has Austin Roberts been in sort of helping keep those things together?
He's been very good. He and Jordan Wade. Jordan Wade has been a consistent, again, one of our guys that we said had an exceptional game. But Austin Roberts has been excellent for us up there, and he's been consistent. He's been steady. He's been there every day, and has played a lot of snaps and had some key tips. Neville had a nice tip the other day. The one that Jordan returns to the 1-yard line is tipped by Neville Gallimore at the line of scrimmage, and I'm sure it affected the throw to some degree to get it to Jordan. So those guys are doing a great job of hanging in there, playing a lot of snaps and playing tough for us.
Coach, how much did you pay attention to all the craziness across college football, Clemson, Washington, Michigan, all those teams losing?
To some degree, but it's college football. Everyone's, every year, you have some of that. So, but anyway, so a little bit.
Did you get fired up about the Hawkeyes?
I did. Sure. Being an old Hawkeye myself, yeah, absolutely, I was rooting them on.
Last year, you guys took a one game at a time mentality in November, won a Big 12 title. Are you seeing some of that same emulate this year?
Yeah. All we're trying to do is have a great day today and get a good jump on our preparation for West Virginia and improve through the week and hopefully be at our best when we go there this Saturday night.
You described a couple of characteristics of what West Virginia looks like now. Can you kind of talk about maybe their evolution, what they used to look like and how they've gotten to this point? Is it more defensive players in recruiting? Is it a more of an effective running game? What are your
I
observations?
don't know. They've always looked good to me. They've always, with Dana, have always been tough running the football, but they also throw it well. Defensively, they've same thing. They play well. Tony does a great job with them. And, they got a lot of good key players that make plays.
Bob, that getting better throughout the year, how tough has that been considering how many guys you've had out who've had to miss weeks and weeks and weeks?
It's been challenging, just with the guys out and even some that, that have played or, missing 3-4 days of practice. It's hard. It's been, it's not, just been a little unusual that way that we've had more than usual. But doesn't really matter. Guys just got to keep answering the bell the way they have. Different guys stepping up and finding a way to to play at a winning level.
Coach, did you know that D.D. Westbrook wears number 11 because of Tavon Austin?
I did not know that.
What kind of similarities do you see in the explosiveness and how they affect the game?
Well, they're similar body types and that explosive speed and quickness, great attacking the football, all of those things. And if I didn't have those 2 running backs, we might put them at running back.
Coach, when you see film of Skylar Howard, how has he improved since he joined the Big 12 and started playing for West Virginia?
Well, I see a guy who makes good decisions. He does a really good job with his accuracy, throwing the ball downfield. He's got a good arm. So makes good decisions. So I'm sure Dana's pleased with them the way they're playing.
How big of a challenge is it going against a 3-3? Because most Big 12 defenses are pretty much the same at defending the offenses that you see in the league.
Yeah, it'll be different to some degree. I mean, to some degree we're in it. To some degree we're in some of the same configurations every day through spring and summer that. And what we do on defense. So some of that's familiar. Just some of the different stunts that they run are a little bit different that we'll have to work hard on this week.
Where does this offense kind of rank among other prolific offenses you've had, especially under Bradford or anything
My
like
standard answer right there with any of them. You guys have covered me. No, I don't ever say any particular one's the best or player's the best, but this offense is right there with any of the great ones we've had.
Samaje had a breakout performance 2 years ago. It was his big game. What do you remember about that night?
Say that.
Samaje's breakout performance 2 years ago, just your memory.
Yeah, just, but I'd seen Samaje through the year, and that wasn't an early game, I don't believe. But I just remember him, being as effective as he always is. Just great pace at the line, great vision, always at finding the right holes, and, and he's always faster than you think.
His freshman year, you remember that play where he ran out? I don't know if he bounced it or it was a sweep. He gets to the sideline and slides down to keep the clock running. Did that tell you something about him maybe that you didn't know?
Well, I don't know that we didn't know, but it just tells you just how smart and bright he is, and in game situations, really in everything that he does. He's an excellent student as well.
Do you feel he's back already to where he was? Or?
Well, the other night it was good to see him. After that, he popped the one off the goal line. We didn't want to take a chance anymore with him, so get another week behind him with this, with his pulled muscle. So, but when you've missed 3 weeks, you're not always all the way back, so we'll see. Another week of practice and getting him out there, I'm sure will help him, and he had a good taste of it the other night. I think he had, 15 or 17 carries, I think, maybe, so I'm sure that'll help him as well.
How do you determine who gets the carries between him and Mixon?
I think a lot of it really, and you could, check with Lincoln, but a lot of it is, a guy gets hot and then a guy gets tired. After you've been hot and you popped a couple of 10 and 12 or maybe for 20 and he needs a blow, and now you get a fresh guy in there and then the other guy can usually do it as well. So it's a lot of it is just on the pace of the game and how they're feeling at the time and who's got the hot hand.
Your history of quarterbacks here, they celebrate when they score touchdowns, but they're reserved. They handle media duties kind of like with coach speak and stuff, over the years. Baker's not that way though. He's emotional on the field. Why does that work for him?
Because it's him. It's his personality. I don't think anybody's very effective when you try and be somebody you're not. I can't get up here and be somebody different. Sam Bradford, Jason White can't come up here and maybe, run around like Baker does. That doesn't work for them, and it works for Baker. That's Baker, and he doesn't need to try and be like them. In the end, you have to, be true to yourself and what you're comfortable with. And that's good enough, and long as they're, all of their excellent play, paid off and made players around them better, just in different ways.
I think a lot of people would, from the outside would look at him and say, well, he's undisciplined. I mean, do you see behind the scenes, is he every bit as committed as all the
Absolutely. There isn't one thing undisciplined about him. He's as hard a worker we've ever had. He's in the meeting rooms. He's studying tape. He's as bright a guy as we've ever had back there. And he makes a lot of his own checks, and that's his preparation and hard work, and Lincoln's tutelage as well. But but he's very disciplined in everything that he does.
Bob, his ability to hit the long ball we've talked about a lot, but what he's demonstrated the last 2 weeks, he's just as efficient in the tight windows.
Oh yeah, he's got an uncanny, quick, release to stick it in some spots, that come open briefly, and he has a great knack for it and anticipating them coming open as well.
Would you consider West Virginia the best defense in the league?
Right now, sure. I mean, they're as good as any, looking at statistic-wise, they're, up there, 3 in total defense, 5 pass defense, 4 rush defense. So, I don't know. Yeah, they're up there with, anybody else. They're as good as about anybody.
Bob, your thoughts on Nick Basquin earning the scholarship? We didn't get to talk to you about it last week.
Yeah, just really excited for Nick in that he's earned it. He's come through in a lot of clutch, tough situations and third downs, and he's an important guy in what we're doing now. So, whenever anyone has gotten into that position where they're starting or in a position where they're playing significant minutes and significant plays, you know, we've put him on scholarship, and he's earned that, and I only think he's going to continue to get better, too.
Has this been, I think he's now the third guy who's walk-on who's turned into a starter this year that you've given a scholarship to. Has that been kind of a strange year this year in that regard?
Maybe. That hasn't happened much before. I think when I first got here, Roger Steffen and Corey Heineke I put on. Those are two mainstays in our 99-2000 defense that, you know, that I can remember putting them on in the same year. I'm not sure. But, yeah, it doesn't happen all the time. But, yeah, these guys are, you know, have earned it.
Bob, you're splitting out mixing quite a bit out to wide receiver. You did that with DeMarco 6-7 years ago. Really messed with defenses. Does it still mess with defenses when you're able to do that, or have they adjusted where it's not quite as striking to defenses when you can do that?
It's probably not quite as striking now because, you know, more people do it, but it still is, I think, effective, and it still, you know, gives defenses some pause that you've got a linebacker, you know, way out on the numbers that he's not used to, you know, in a space where he's not used to operating, and you know, so just DeMarco along with Joe have such exceptional hands and ability to, you know, to get open that, you know, it works for us.
To win 10 true road games in a row, is there a common thread through those for you in your mind?
Play well.
No matter what, no matter how you get there, just keep playing well.
You know, execute and play well, and well, it's the same as, you know, in a lot of cases, you gotta do a lot of things well, you know, to win at home or on the road.
I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
Let me follow up. When you go on the road, your atmosphere is different. Your mindset may be different. The team the next morning, the day before a game, may be slightly different than it is out here. I know you try to keep things as similar as you can, but it's different on the road.
Well, you're in a different environment and travel and all that, but at the end of the day, you're going to walk out on a field 100 yards long and, you know, and play the game. So, but, you know, sometimes too, there's a challenge and an excitement to it. You know, that it is unfamiliar and the crowd's against you, and you use that to charge you up.
Impressed with the way the team has played in those 4 Big 12 road games this year. Fourth quarter, one-possession games, they've been able to finish the games.
Yeah, just, again, everybody executing. I was just, you know, noticing last week, I think we had the ball all but 1.5 minutes in the fourth quarter last week. And that's 2 great long drives by the offense and a quick, you know, 3 or 4 and out, I can't remember, 4 and out, I think, on defense. So, you know, that's positive when you could play that way.
Any plans to wear the alternate uniforms this week?
I think there is. I think it's white and red, maybe. That's what I heard. I kind of heard that the other day. I think I heard it right, but I'm not sure I did.
Any discussion at all about the playoff with the team?
No. All that matters is what we've been doing, you know, each and every week of be our best this Saturday night, you know, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and be ready to play our best game, you know, and next week will be a different week.
With that said, though, it's like Saturday night, you had morning game, you're home by 4 or 5, whatever time it was. You're really not, I assume, not preparing for West Virginia till Sunday.
Had a recruiting dinner, so yeah.
So after that, can you allow yourself to sit there and watch football and say, hey, I need Iowa to beat Michigan, I need Southern Cal to beat Washington, and watch it unfold?
I can't really affect that, so I kind of just watch it.
Do you root though?
I'm rooting for the Hawkeyes, absolutely, and a big congrats to them. But outside of that, I'm not sitting there with my pom-poms out, you know. So.
You see a guy like Jeffrey Mead makes a competitive catch there early. Iowa State makes a big play to get into the end zone. Can that be something that can help a guy that kind of feed off of that and just become another, I guess?
Definitely. It should give them more confidence and confidence in being able to make more of those plays consistently.
Give Baker maybe go at it more? I mean,
we don't force the ball to anybody, you know. So, he'll get his touches when the read is for him to get the ball.
What goes through your mind when you see that record out there that you've won 100 games here and only lost 9? You're not even in double-digit losses.
It's just not in my makeup to pay attention to it. I'll be totally honest. I didn't know that until after the game, till someone said that to me. Because I'm not sitting there listening and reading all of this. I don't have time, we're in there game planning and watching tape, so.
And somebody puts that number in front of you, you got to say, God, that's impressive.
I don't have to say that. I'm pissed at the 9 we didn't get. So, anyway, so I hope I'm allowed to say that. But anyhow, I don't. I don't. There'll be a time for that somewhere way down the road. I don't care right now. I just want one more on the road right now and one more here in a couple of weeks.
Dede was effective once again, obviously, but he only got 4 catches. Is it something that Baylor did, or is there something West Virginia might tend to do?
Again, you can only get to a guy. We still move the football really well, scored points, and we're not operating getting the ball to one guy. So it just didn't work out that way.
Norman North is looking.
And he had one on his fingertips that would have been another huge play that he usually catches. So.
Norman North is looking pretty good. Of the games that you are able to watch with your sons playing, what do you like with what you're seeing from them?
I just love that they're out there for their team, playing hard. That's all I care about. I tell them, play hard, have fun. That's what you should be doing at that age, and really any age. You play as hard as you can, and chips fall where they may, but play hard and enjoy the game.
Did you ever make some of the catches that Drake's been making?
Sure. So, guys want me to pull out some of my tape?
You have to get a projector for that?
Mm-hmm. And it's not very clear. Yeah. Yeah.
Bob, Seth Russell's injury was sort of an uncomfortable moment Saturday, just the nature of it. I thought the way your kids and even your crowd reacted helped, with the aftermath of that.
Yeah, it was. I hated it. Golly, it's just awful. When a young man, any of your players, both sides of the ball, either or both teams, you hate really those really damaging injuries. And I thought everybody was for sure everybody was concerned for him. And at the end of the day, it's a game, and the young man's out there playing hard, and just has something unfortunate happen like that. You just want to express that everybody here is concerned for him too. That he hopefully can heal and recover from it and continue to be a great quarterback, because he's a great player.
Has Joe Mixon been 5 in the 40 since he's been here, and how's his speed compared?
Yeah, Smitty. Has Smitty been available to the media? I'll have to ask him. I'm sure he has been. We're cautious about that, just because of pulled muscles and things. When you time it and when you do that, and generally in the winter, different times we will. So he's fast though.
When Lincoln talks about going on the road, I think what he's basically said is we love playing at home, but you get something going on the road and winning that you just can't get anywhere else. I've not heard another one of your coaches talk about it like that all through the years. Is this a particular thing about this team?
Well, you'd have to. You can ask Lincoln to clarify it for you. So I don't want to speak for him, but I think there's always a certain challenge and energy to playing on a road to a rowdy crowd, and the guys kind of unify and bond. That it's it's sort of you against all of them, and you can get a charge out of that.
Does it take a team with a particular kind of personality to be that way?
Sure. I guess it does. Yeah.
Skylar Howard struggled here last year when West Virginia came, but at least statistically, he's been better this year. Does that show on tape as well?
Absolutely, it does. I think he's playing really well. Again, accurate, good decisions, good deep ball, and he's got good players out there. I think that you have to give credit to that are making plays too for him.
Are there particular things when you go on the road that you need to do to get the, obviously you want to play well, but in terms of just
that's
an
the thing.
attitude or that you have to have, or?
It's all of it, you know. You don't play well without attitude and confidence, and you gotta play well. You know, you gotta you gotta be able to protect the football. You gotta be able to pick up third downs and stop third downs. You gotta, you know, I believe score touchdowns in the red zone, and you know, all of it. You know, defense has to step up and play well and get off the field. You know, kicking game. It's just, you know, the things that, you know, home and away, you know, they all correlate.
Speaking of short yardage, the direct snap plays that you guys have inserted, it's a reflection of the Belldozer and on. But Joe and Sam and P. Reiner both got the direct snap and been able to convert.
It's been effective. Some of them were quite challenging the other day, but I think, you know, obviously the big difference is those guys don't throw the ball like Blake Bell did. So that's a different dynamic, and you get a different defense than you did when Blake Bell's in there. So to a degree, you know. So but you know, they've been effective for us.
Should margin of victory be something that the playoff committee considers at all as they evaluate these things?
I think they do to some degree. I think that's probably the best way to say it. I think they take all of it into consideration, and but you know, it's a very bright group that in some cases it probably doesn't matter too much to them, and others it does. You know, and I think all games and scores are going to be different probably in their eyes.
Would there be a temptation, say, if you had a pretty good lead on somebody late, to get an extra one? I mean, if you had the chance, or
I don't deal in hypotheticals. I'm just going to try and win this game. Yeah, not me, but I mean, we're just going to do our best to be the best we can Saturday, and I don't deal in what ifs or, you know, that has nothing to do with what we're trying to do.
You had that chance though, Bob, at Ames. I mean, you're down there, could have easily scored in the last minute and chose not to.
Well, I don't, you know, again, I don't feel that would have been that significant to change anything and change anyone's mind, and I do believe when the proper situations, and I'm not against anyone else, it's the sportsmanlike thing to do. And so, and I don't think it was going to make that much of a difference.
Do you think that the committee has looked at games differently or the seasons than pollsters have? I think pollsters tend to, they lost, bring them down, and they don't necessarily look at, you know, how it happened. And this committee talks about this is a snapshot for right now. They're really trying to say who the best teams are. Do you feel they're doing it in a different way than the pollsters have in the past? Do you have any sense of it?
Probably, yeah. They're having, you know, the pollsters aren't sitting there having a discussion amongst themselves. Few you probably do, but they're in there in a room, you know, putting a lot of time and effort and thought into why. So I give them credit for that.
I asked Lincoln this on Saturday. When Baker breaks away up the middle and starts to slide down, it looks like he slides on the line or past the line. And I said, was there a temptation there to wait, slow down? You know, you guys punted like 10 or 15 seconds left on the clock to see if there was a opportunity for a review.
That was part to eat the clock, but mostly surely they were looking at it.
Yeah. Turns out, the way Lincoln explained it was the minute he starts to go down, he said
Yes.
The minute his backside drops down, that's where the ball is spotted. It's not where it hits the ground or where the ball, it's like.
Because they want to protect it, and that's why the defender can't come in and collision them either. So we've got to do, you know, a better job of knowing where that mark is and allowing for, you know, you got to go a couple yards with your feet beyond the first down.
If he goes head first, though,
then he makes it, but then you risk shoulder injuries and collarbone injuries or whatever. The mark's different, sure. It's where the ball is.
Well, that's nothing you, I'm sure, concern yourself with before the game or during the game, but after the game, your 2 trips to West Virginia have been great games, fun games, you pulled them out, and then there's a big group from Youngstown, both times have come down to watch. It's the closest you generally play to Youngstown. How much is that 30 minutes fun for you, just getting to see a bunch of old friends and who got to enjoy it?
Yeah, it's great. No, I believe they're planning on bringing another bus this year, and love seeing family, friends. I got extended family that all come, and a bunch of friends, and you know, so it's great to spend 30 minutes or whatever it is before we pull out and see everybody and you know, enjoy their company.
Speaking of shoulder injuries, you're talking about sliding forward. Trevor Knight goes down last week, or I guess, what was it, week before last?
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to?
I haven't connected with Trevor yet. No, I will, but I haven't yet. And again, hope he's healing well. And I didn't see how it happened, so I have no idea about it. But I'll connect with him here soon enough, I'm sure.
Bob, I just wanted to clarify, has Matt Diamond been removed from the team, or is he just not going to play, or not suit up again?
It's kind of mutual. It's just sort of mutual, yeah, so.
Ways? Is that
Yeah,
what you're?
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Particular about playing at this stadium, is crowd, how loud the crowd is, or anything that you have to do differently than other stadiums?
No, you know, you have to deal with noise, and most places we go, it's loud. So we'll do all the things that we're used to doing to manage crowd noise and be able to communicate, you know, and be on the same page with each other.